Morning VC, happy Mother's Day. I haven't done a video in quite a while as far as like a finds video. It's probably been 3 or 4 months. It's just not something I've been too interested in doing anymore. But I have a bunch of records just sitting here, and I've been under the weather, and I was like, what the hell, I'll just hit record and we'll show you some records. I don't know what kind of order I'm going to do this in. I didn't even think about what the hell I'm doing here. But I think I've had probably about 150 records come in the door since the last finds video. Somewhere around there. There's always records, no matter what's going on over here. Had a couple cool things happen in the last few months. Winebender came to town. Hadn't seen him in a long time. It was really good to see him. But when he was here, I was freaking poor. Had to pay my taxes. Had an $850 tax bill come out of nowhere, and that I was not expecting. Work didn't take out the right amount during my disability last year. So that hit like a sledgehammer. That was pretty much all my disposable income. And then record store day was right after paying taxes. So luckily I did have some left over so that I could get some of those titles. And my friend Mertie, she wanted to go on record store day this year because her favorite band was putting out their first album for the first time on vinyl. Jucifer, real awesome, heavy husband-wife duo. The guitarist, she plays through like 50 cabinets. It's crazy. I can't believe I can hear anything. I stood in front of that band at Milestone one time and without earplugs. It's amazing I can function at all. But she wanted to go, and so what's nice about record store day, the way Repo does it, which is completely different than anybody else in town, is that Jimmy gets the line pretty much gone by 8 a.m. Like, he's not allowed to sell until 8 a.m., but he's already got everybody in. Everybody's picked out their records and has gone back outside and kind of reformed a line. And then at 8, boom, he starts checking people out the door. You come back in, get your records, and get the fuck out. There's no looking around at anything else. And so by 10:30 in the morning, anybody else that wants to go up there, or noon, can just walk in, see what's left, and have, there's no crowd or anything like that, and you get in and you get out. So I met Mertie for lunch, and she was stoked because she could walk right into Repo, and she got the Jucifer record because I told him to order some, and he got 3 copies. So she got that record. She got the Susie and the Banshees, and I think she got one of the jazz records. I forget which guy, one of the sax players. So she was stoked. And we went and had a good lunch. So good. That was record store day was great. I'll show you what I picked up. Most of these at Repo, because he made sure to order ahead for me, kind of what I was looking for. And the thing that did suck though is he didn't have the Talking Heads was gone, because I was going to try to get a copy for Teddy, but and it was only $35. I was surprised being a double. The prices were much lower this time at Repo than in the past. I really think he focused on keeping his price down this time around so that he would get this product out the door and wouldn't be sitting in there, because he's still got RSD stock, tons of RSD stock from past record store days in there. I mean, you can get some of the really good rare stuff still. I did get the Sun Ra live in Chicago, 76 to 77 at the Showcase. Double LP. These are numbered, so mine's 2219. I don't think that means anything really, but a hell of a lineup. And yeah, I have some of these I haven't even got into yet. And I'm not going to go through these in too much detail because RSD was forever ago and everybody's tired of looking at these. This was one of the main ones I wanted to get. The Sister Rosetta Tharpe live in France, the 1966 concert in Limoges, or I don't know how it's pronounced. It's French. I'm not good at French. There's another numbered double. Who put this out? Probably Elemental. Yeah. So mine's number 505 of 2200. One of the founders of rock and roll. I mean, I play an SG, and she played a mean SG. That is for sure. And this has got so many great songs. I've picked up some of her 78s lately. It's just fantastic. Just Prince Farai, Cry Tough Chance on You. So this is a compilation of his stuff on You Sound from 78 to 84. Another double. This one was a little bit pricey, but not too bad. But some great reggae dub. Had to grab that. This is the Jucifer I was talking about. This is their first album that was only ever released on CD. What's the name of this thing? Calling All Ears on the Vegas Strip. Yeah. Great record. Heavy shit. And the first time on vinyl, I was happy. That was the number one want for RSD. I did go back later to Repo Another Day, and I did grab. He had tons of the Ramones the 1975 Sire demos, and this is. It looked like it's just a one LP. Looked like it was going to be cheap as far as the cardstock and all that, but the record's really nice. It's this quiet, clear splatter vinyl in a nice polyline sleeve. So this wasn't that much for an RSD exclusive. I was able to get a day or two later. Yeah, this is really cool. Ramones. Oh hell. Let's see what we got going on here. I did get the Sun Ra. Pink Elephants on Parade. This has been shown quite a bit. This is a fun record. If you got kids, this is a great one to play for the children's. All songs that they had done live in different venues, some of which in DC and at the 930 Club, which is a great club, and Regatta Bar, and some in Virginia. Just having fun with these Disney tunes, like Someday My Prince Will Come, which features June Tyson, which is always a reason to pick up a Sun Ra record. That's a great cut. Second song on the A side, and then the Second Star to the Right that opens the B side is also fantastic. Some great playing on the horns there. Yeah, just a fun record. It's this Modern Harmonic, which is up the road here out of the Raleigh area, putting out a lot of Sun Ra stuff. This is on Pink Elephant vinyl. I think a couple people just showed this. But yeah, happy to grab that one. There was 3 Sun Ra releases this year for RSD. I did not get the Strut release. It's almost $50, and it's music tape compiled from off of an old VHS tape or VHS tapes. So I'm not really sure how that's going to be. Lunchbox did get more copies of it, so I'm considering, but we'll see. I did get this Sonic Youth. Hits Are for Squares. I got this from Hardy Boys. I went to see what they had left over a week or so after. And they did have the Sonic Youth. Still at the normal price for RSD. This has a lot of tracks I don't have on vinyl. I have a ton on CD of Sonic Youth, not a lot on vinyl, so I picked this up. It's got Teenage Riot, Bull in the Heather, a lot of great songs, all hand-picked by different musicians. So like Teenage Riot was picked by Eddie Vedder, and he played that song on one of his radio shows back in the 90s that I recorded to tape. So yeah, Mike D chose the song 100%. So it's basically a greatest hits chosen by famous musicians, and it's a double LP. I usually don't care about greatest hits, but this is a cool release. And again, songs I don't have on vinyl from Sonic Youth, so I grabbed that. And then what else we got here? Oh, I picked this up later on from Lunchbox. He had gotten a couple copies. He gets RSD stuff from everywhere. The UK stuff, the Japan stuff, everything. He's been getting those Polish jazz RSD releases when they come in. And he got this Terry Riley Standards and Kopajizawa Sessions #1. And this is a LP and 7-inch. Haven't spun this yet either. But I'm interested to hear what this sounds like. It's got a version of Round Midnight on it. So from Terry Riley. This was a Japan only release. But Lunchbox gets the Japan stuff too. He had a couple others in there. And a couple 7-inches. These were from Repo on RSD. The Chap Gbi. It's a one-sider. And it's a damn good song. It's Dave Grohl on drums and vocals, Scott Ian on guitars, and Charlie Benyante on bass. It's a cool little color 7-inch. This one was, it's just a one-sider, but it's a really, really good song. I don't know. That was just a fun one to get. And for some reason, they had a stack of these at Hardy Boys. I got it at Repo. He only had, like, I think the one copy. One or two. And I did get the Harvest Time, Love Will Find a Way 7-inch from Pharaoh Sanders. From Luca Bop. Yeah, originally on Indian Navigation. I don't know. That was another cool one for RSD. Yeah, and like I said, Winebender came to town. I don't know if those records are still out here. Let me see. Yeah, I got one CD at Premium Sound, and I got one record when I was out with him and John, Digital Gramophone. When I was in Noble Records. This was an interesting one, and it was really cheap, so I picked it up. Abdul Zahir Batin and the Notorious Ensemble. This is on the Cadence Jazz Records label, which I really love. And this includes John Hicks on piano, Cecil Bridgewater on trumpet, so I was sold right there. This is pretty good. It's nothing out there or anything like that. Kind of, I don't know, not really modal. I don't know. It's just kind of old school in nature. Good jazz, contemporary. Bobby Watson, he played with Art Blakey. Is on here. Curtis Lundy and Robin Eubanks, live at the Jazz Cultural Theater in New York City. Oh, back in 1986. Yeah, pretty good record for cheap. I forget the CD I got. It's in the car. Oh, it was a Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros CD. Yeah, there's a couple other RSD titles I wanted to get that I missed out on that were sold out. By the time I got in there, the Malfunction sold out. That one I've been looking for, but everybody wants 100 and up. I'm not paying that when it was $30 in a shop. And the Joe Strummer album, that's a double. That's now also going for large dollars, and it's sold out everywhere here. I was gonna get the Black Girl. I think it's a soundtrack or something. That one you can still get for RSD price. I might still circle around and get that. And then I've got another RSD on the way from Spain, as I participate in record store days in Barcelona every year, as the guys at B Core hold me whatever it is they're putting out. So I've got the new Ramon coming, one of his older albums that was put out on vinyl for the, I think, reissued for the first time. I think it might have been on vinyl. It could have been CD only, but it's on the way. So yeah, a lot. It was fun. A lot of good, interesting things this time around for RSD. I was really pleased with those. But when I did go around to the shops, and I did go to Lunchbox with Winebender, I didn't buy anything that day, but I did notice some things that were in there. So a few weeks went by, and I went back, and I did pick up this off the wall. Had been needing this for my collection for a long time. Down on the Upside. This is an OG first limited edition pressing. It's a double LP on A&M. This sounds incredible. It was marked VG++. This plays like brand new. It's quiet as hell. Oh man, and the recording quality on this is absolutely perfect. Any given day, this is my favorite Soundgarden record. Whatever Soundgarden record I'm currently listening to is probably going to be my favorite Soundgarden record. I love this fucking band. It's one of my favorites of all time. And so many great songs on this. Pretty News, Blow Up the Outside World, Bird in My Hand. I really love the last track, Boot Camp. Yeah, there's really not a bad song on this record. Hell yeah. So this was nice to pull off the wall, and I was surprised it was still there. I mean, it survived through RSD, through another week or two, and then I went also back to Noble, because they had a record on the wall, and he said it had been there a while. So I expected it to be gone, but no, it was still there as well. And that was Moondog 2 in a promo copy. There are no promo copies on Discogs. Again, for me though, Discogs isn't the end-all be-all of records. Discogs is you and me posting shit. So, I mean, but yeah, it's as far as the pressing goes, it's a first press, just with a timing strip is all on Columbia. Could have belonged to a radio station at some point, I believe. But the thing that's nice about this copy is it does still include the booklet, which these are hard to come across. With the booklet and everything, it's got some of the music written out. And this is a really nice copy. They cleaned it twice for me on the ultrasonic there at the shop. It's in perfect shape. So I was very happy to get this. I had gotten the first Moondog record off the wall at Dylan's shop before at Noble. I think that one was $50. This one's a little bit more, being a promo and everything, but and I guess everybody says this is one is hard to find without ring wear, and it's got a bunch of that, but it doesn't affect play, that's for sure. So that's a great one. I pulled this out of the bins. There were a couple Bob Moses records I'd never seen before, ever. I didn't even know they existed. Bittersweet in the Ozone. This is on the Mozone label. This has got a hell of a group. It's got Daniel Carter on tenor and alto and flute. Randy Brecker's on trumpet. Dave Liebman's on tenor, soprano, flute, clarinets. Gene Lee is on vocal. Mike Lawrence on trumpet at times, and Mike Lawrence is an underrated trumpet player. He is a badass. Billy Hart drums. Dave Iges on cello. Stanley Freet on piano. Bob Moses, of course, on vibes, piano, drums, etc. Yeah, quite an affair here. That was a cool one to find from 75, I want to say. Let me see about the year here. I think that's about the time this came out, but the B-side is a long 24-minute jammer. So that's a cool one. Let me see if I'll show you the label on this. You don't see the records on this label very often. Here's the label. Ozone. Don't know if he's got any other records on this label. The other Bob Moses record had an interesting lineup too, and was on a different label. This had been in Noble for a while, and I picked it up finally. A sealed original copy of Tony Scott Music for Yoga Meditation and Other Joys. This has just been reissued. I want to say that Third Man did the reissue on the Verve series, but this is an OG mint copy of this. This was like 20 some bucks, so I finally grabbed that. And then I did grab a few rock records because he had them really good prices on them. Red Cross Neurotica. This was like $14. Original of this. I guess that's about what it goes for though. Pretty common record with the McDonald Brothers. I saw them open for Melvin's here at the Visualite, so I didn't have any Red Cross, so I grabbed that. That was cheap. Original of Suicidal Tendencies. I've been meaning to grab this for years. Frontier. A really nice copy of this. Back when I was a kid. Had a bad influence. This kid Brian got me in a lot of fucking trouble. He ended up in a full body cast. I did not. And so our lives went in different directions. But he used to jam the shit out of this record on cassette. And I was not allowed to have it per my parents. So here we are at age 50, finally getting around to getting a copy. Suicidal Tendencies. That's some great shit. And I didn't have this on vinyl. Finally grabbed a copy. And this is a nice first US. I think what year? 1970? Yeah. Green label US. Really nice shape. Beautiful shape, as a matter of fact. And, you know, these are records that got played. So it's nice to find one, you know, good to go. Classic Black Sabbath. What else is here? There's just a bunch of records that have come in. I hadn't even put them away, so I'm just trying to go through them and listen to them. This came from Mats Gustafsson. He does the private auctions every year. Last year I struck out entirely. I tried to really just go for a Sun Ra, a Black Mass original, and I got sledgehammered. Because when you're bidding, you don't have any clue what anybody else is bidding. You're just putting out your top bid in an email, and chips fall where they may. So I only bid on 3 records this time around, expecting maybe to get the other 2, and I didn't win those, but I did win this one. Gan Lee, Don't Freeze Yourself to Death Over There in Those Mountains, on A.R. Pank's private press deal, where he does all the artwork. He plays keyboard on this, and her vocals are phenomenal on this. There's Frank Wolney on bass, D. Charles on drums, and C Sharp on alto, and I'm not sure who those guys are. Might be Dennis Charles. I'm not sure. This is great, and the keyboard playing is straight up harkens to Sun Ra. I mean, this sounds like a June Tyson with Sun Ra affair. It's really, really good. And there's those cool custom labels with that they always have with the lion on them. And I've got 6 or 7 of these private press deals from this collection. You usually have to get them all from Germany, where they were made. This one came from Austria. And Mr. Gustafsson, who did a great job packing that. What else is here? The latest Carolina Soul auction was bananas. It's one of the best collections of records I've ever seen offered on the internet. A lot of private press, gems, a lot of rare jazz. Reminded me of Greg Wooten's collection that went up on Carolina Soul a year or so ago in a couple of rounds. Hell, it might even been another part of his collection possibly. I don't think it was, but it was up to par with that stuff. And I did get I got 5 records from that auction. I watched probably 60 records. That's how, and they were all ones that are on the want list of stuff that you could probably never get. But I always attack that stupid Carolina Soul now the same way. The first day, if people start bidding right away with 6 days plus to go, and you've already pushed it over, all the bids start at $8. If you've already pushed it over $25 or so, 20, 25 and up, and there's already 10 bids, I'm out. I'm not even going to pay attention to that auction anymore. So that whittles it down. And then I start to focus in on, okay, well, what do I really want here? What's going to go for a deal? And not that it's going to go below $20, but that you're gonna be able to get something in a manageable position. So I ended up getting 3 records. This one's been shown recently quite a bit. I think Sherv played a sample of this, or I checked it out, or Alex did. I'm pretty sure it was Sherv. And so this went on the want list, and one popped up there, and this was like 20 some bucks. Harmonicord, Spirits de Sel, 1977 French original. I think Dom just showed this in one of his videos. Really good French ensemble. Gatefold. And so I was happy to find this. I guess these are dead stock that are floating around. This is a mint copy. I'm not sure of the label. It's got a nice sleeve and everything. So let me grab that gem. And I got a Terra Masahino live record, and what's the other one? I got a Tomasz Stanko on Polish Jazz. Those are on the way. But the first round, these are the other 2 I got. I got the Living Music from Alexander von Schlippenbach. This is not an original. Original has an all-white cover. This is a better looking cover on the second press on FMP with Brotzman, Paul Rutherford on trombone, Manfred Scoof on trumpet, Han Benink, a young-looking Han Benink, on drums. Very pleased to get that on FMP. Any FMP I'm gonna try to get. But this was the big one. I didn't have any Billy Bang records here in the house. I never see them in this town ever. They just don't show up in Charlotte for whatever reason. I really don't run into them anywhere. But this one was there, and I got it probably for 50 to 80 less than it's going for online elsewhere. So Billy Bang's Survival Ensemble, New York College, live performance for the radio done at Columbia University. That's been in the news for all the wrong or right reasons. On Anima Records out of New York, 1978. Fantastic. You've got William Parker on bass, Rashid Baker on drums, Henry Warner on alto, of course Billy Bang on violin, and he does some spoken word, poetry on here. Bilal Abdur Rahman on tenor soprano, who is great on this. Really cool cover. This is in beautiful condition, just minty. It was just gorgeous, unplayed condition. So this was probably one of the bigger acquisitions that I'll have this year. Probably one of the best records that I'll get this year, period. As far as LPs go, of course you all do know I've also been into 78s. I've had a few rare as piss 78s come in the door. I do have just one sitting here that I'll show you. Vocalion. If I had my way, I'd tear the building down from Blind Willie Johnson. And then Mother's Children Have a Hard Time on the B-side. This is a gorgeous copy of this on Vocalion original. I put hands on the other 2 copies. There were 3 copies of this record made. The original was on Columbia, I believe, recorded in 26, put out in 27, somewhere around there. And then this was released right after, around 1930. And then in 1950, Anchor reissued it out of New York in 78. But those are the only known copies. This particular copy, I think there's about 4 known, and this is one of them. So that was a big find. 30 minutes here, that's a long time. I know I haven't been around. Again, I just, I don't know, I just haven't been feeling like making videos too much. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of other records here too. I mean, just, I found this, Ramon Morris, Sweet Sister Funk, in Lunchbox one day. This is a rare as piss record on Groove Merchant. This is a killer LP. Cecil Bridgewater, again, on trumpet. Mickey Roker on drums. Albert Daly on electric piano. This is a cooker of an album here. I couldn't believe this was just sitting in the bins for a good price. I think I grabbed this one day, lunch at work, out of Hardy Boys. William Hooker is Eternal Life private pressing. This is the Superior Viaduct reissue. Of course, David Murray on horns on this. David Ware as well on this record. This is a phenomenal percussion record. Just great record. Out of Detroit, I believe. Want to say Dom got an original of this, which I'd love to have, but this is going to probably suit me just fine. Superior Viaduct does great work on their reissues. What else is here? That's kind of everything that's sitting here, needing to be spun or has been spun a few times and going to spin again. Hope you're all well. Peace.